science lab of rap. Yeah. This is going on for longer than we all would expect. In fact, you can recall the last time I said that I'm a rocket out of rap, but I'm not even that sure. I got a lot of projects I've done, got 99 projects, success ain't one, but yeah, I ain't done as great for the sake of creation of fate just to make what I love. And if you don't like it, you cannot get nothing from it. Just turn it up. You can just make fun of it, mock it, that won't stop it. Just turn it up. Just turn it up. Just turn it up. I'm not importing it for you to bore yourself with. If you don't like my music, then just please turn it off. But if you want something that you can strut to, forget what they taught you. Let your guard down and turn your speakers up. Cause I just wanna make the groovy music that I used to listen to before you fuse. Got skewed by the stupid kid to school who said shouldn't act cool cause you smile too much. What the forget about it, gonna do my style. 1, 2, mic check, anyone till that. Cause the best advice of how to find your passion. It's anything they love and then just do it and do it and do it and do it. And if you love it, how can anyone tell you? But if they do, then let them. It's better getting there for your father. Try to talk common sense you up. Cause pretty soon they're gonna eat the words. Choke on the irony and start singing yours. At the very least, you gotta make them see the misery. Hate's coming up, but the company is joy. And if you don't like it, you cannot get nothing from it. Just turn it up. You can just make fun of it, mock it, that won't stop it. Just turn it up. Just turn it up. Just turn it up. I believe we were created by a being far greater than us, and as such we have a distinct and inherent desire to do the same. To use our hands, our hearts, our minds to make, create, compose, design and shape the fabric of our impatient state. We went on a new design and it takes long, far longer than we thought we'd have to wait. And so we take shots at each other like we're not all wonderfully made, insulting the intellect of an architect who designed us with minds that lack to reject. But the art without the artist is all just a canvas without paint. It's a shame and a waste. And I wanna be beautiful again in full color, each brush stroke entirely plays. Each texture seems overwhelming without it tones intricately lays. All of this it will go together, so why do we all make no mistake? How can you say that there is no painter if the painting directly reflects his face?
This is my second show in front of human life. Yeah. In the last 15 fucking months, COVID could suck a dick. All these little weird ass government policies and mandates suck a dick. Stop trying to take our civil liberties away. Feels good to be back outside. We outside for real. It's called the God-given right of freedom, right? No human being is supposed to tell you you can't even breathe freely. Fuck your mask. I'm not saying. Some of y'all might feel differently, but fuck your mask. I can't rhyme to you with a mask on. We can't eat food with a fucking mask on. We can't even see each other smile with a mask on. Damn, no. I come from a time where before I used to even want to holler at a chick, I used to have to do shit with my face to let her know that I'm into her. All of that energy gets blocked when your mask is on. Energy is important, and we are all conductors of fucking good energy. We also gotta be clear when a motherfucker trying to give you bad energy. You can tell from only the expression on their face. I want to see your face. Fuck your mask. Hey yo! I'm sorry I got a little political and shit. I miss my people. We gotta talk. We can party, but we gotta talk. We gotta communicate. We gotta establish new understandings. Fuck that. I ain't going through that shit again. And make sure y'all prepared too. If anything came out of this motherfucker, was a lot of learning. I done learned so much shit in this little time off. Thank you for the one thing that came good out of this fucking shutdown. I have become more empowered. And this energy right here is unfuckwittable. They can't fuck with us when we're together like this.
The tragedy of our day is the climate of fear in which we live.
Talking about the Salomon Brothers building collapsing.
I would ask the congressman to withdraw that comment and tell us that he didn't really mean that. I don't know what I said. I did not have sexual relations with that woman.
The Bible commands that certain people be put to death.
Thieves or possesses weapons of mass destruction.
9/11 attacks were carried out by Al-Qaeda.
Handle the truth.
I remember that with that smoke. We are still here!
We have to say yes to social justice.
No. It's a big club, and you ain't in it.
It's a big club and you ain't in it, and I can't find my button. Welcome back. Welcome back to the least comfortable show on the web, the least trusted name in news. This is The System is Down, where we talk about all the uncomfortable stuff that trigger you and make you go, I don't know how I feel about that. This is the place where you come to get your news if you don't like, listening to actual news. You just like to hear us come and read headlines and make jokes about it, because that's really 9 times out of 10 the headline is the entirety of the story, as we will find out here shortly. So I hope you're all doing well. I hope you're doing splendidly. My name is Dan Smots. If you're new here, hi and welcome. Go find the person who invited you. Give him a big hashtag #MeToo kiss on the mouth and slap on the rear from you, me, and from Dave Casey, who we're going to bring in here in just a moment, because we appreciate you being here and because you're going to enjoy it. Because today we've got a ton of things to get through. I always have a million things, and then we end up spending like 90% of the time just making dick jokes about 2 of the stories. But that's what, you know what you're in for, most likely. And if you don't, you're about to find out. So before we get into that, I got to remind you about our sponsors, first and foremost being you guys and the Downers Club, people like Trenton Campbell, Van Zot Media, Stephen Hartman, Patrick Chains, Serrato, Brian Johnson, Anthony Peoples, Carolina B, Lincoln something, Javari, Andrew, Paul, Craig, Joe, Anthony Meyer. Can you guys get like original first names so I don't have to read such long ones like Champion Pundit Academy or David White? That's a long one. The Liberty Hippie, William Wells. William Wells is up in Alaska, I believe. I don't mean to dox him. It's a pretty big state. I don't think you'll find him. But I've been hearing a lot of nice things about Alaska, and it's seeming more and more inviting these days. But anyway, that's besides the point. Those people are on this list because they support this show, and you can get your name on that list too by supporting the show at patreon.com/thesystemsdown, where you'll get bonus episodes of the show every single week, including our after parties, our extended interviews, our Rick and Morty recaps, our South Park recaps, our Loki recaps, our all the TV and movie reviews that we do, bunch of stuff that is even more different than what we do here. I've got some people in the chat. Hi, everybody. I can't read them yet because I got to get through the pleasantries. But patreon.com/thesystemsdown is where you can get more weird, more raw, more offensive, more weekly content. Oh, crap. He's not here yet. All right. So, we also have, we also have a merch store on thesystemsdown.tv that I don't talk about nearly enough for the work that I put into there. There's tons and tons of shirts in there. Go check them out. I never actually talk about it, but we've got things like Joe Biden and Kamala Harris's Unity Camp, Healing, Cleansing by Any Means Necessary, Summer of Love. That's a fun one. Good for the kids as they go off to summer camp. We've got the I Heart New York one, where the heart is upside down, taking a shit on New York, holding a passport and getting an injection, also holding an American flag, a mask on the heart, and a mask also on the shit. And the latest is Dare to resist drugs and violence with a syringe and grenades and bombs and pharmaceuticals and police brutality and all sorts of fun stuff. So if you want some nice snark humor to wear around as you go wherever you're still allowed to, which is probably the bathroom in your own home, maybe still, go check those out. Buy some swag at thesystemsdown.tv. This show is also sponsored by the Royal Green, which is a book by Jack Casey, and he's got a new one coming out soon. This is actually the third one in the Royal Green series. There's the Royal Green, the other something, and the new something something that I don't remember the name of. But if you would like to get the official word on that, his new book is coming out this summer, maybe fall at this point, since it's still not here. But he told me the other day it's any day now. So check that out. Sounds awesome. We were talking about it recently, and he said, it's got a lot of conspiracies, a lot of politics, and a lot of religion in it. So I feel like maybe you should take back up reading, sir. And I told him no. But if you would like to do so, go to theroyalgreen.com and check it out, because he's got the balls to support this show, and he's an awesome dude. Free Ounce of Kratom is also a thing that you can get if you are a listener to this show. You can get a free ounce of Kratom. Go to freeounceofkratom.com, the aptly titled website, and get a free ounce of Kratom. If you're not familiar with it, it's what's got me all jazzed up today, because we're doing this later than usual, so I'm a little bit more hyper than I normally am, and a lot of that is thanks to this free. This wasn't a free ounce of Kratom, but you can get the same stuff, freeounceofkratom.com. You can also get Delta 8 THC. You can get colloidal silver, vitamins, minerals, CBD, and all that fun stuff. All the natural stuff that the government doesn't like you being able to get access to. You can get access to it at mybravebotanicals.com or freeounceofkratom.com. All right, that's enough of that crap. Let's get to what the point was that I almost started a second ago when I pressed the wrong button. It is, of course, the one and only Dave Casey, the guy who fills in whenever Travis is gone, and people are like, hey, maybe you should just fire Travis and keep Dave Casey around. Dave, how's it going, man?
Dude, it's going great. That scared me, though. I was like 45 seconds out of a Jeffrey Toobin experience over here.
Oh, yeah?
So close call, but great to be here.
So you were just getting all pumped up for the show.
I just getting jazzed up.
Nice. I don't kink shame here, whatever.
I'll tell you what, it all started in the beginning with that music video, The Many Faces of Dan Smots.
That's right. You can't control yourself. That's as long as you've got yourself ready to go by the time, I press that button, great.
Exactly.
But Dave, how have you been, man?
Dude, good, man. I mean, as good as we can be in this dystopian current paradigm that we're in together. But yeah, we got to laugh, we got to have fun.
Absolutely.
About it. That's what you do.
If I couldn't laugh and have fun, which give it a week and we might not be allowed to, but if I couldn't legally laugh and have fun, I would be very black-pilled at this moment. I woke up fairly, depressed this morning, just more black-pilled than usual, and the Kratom's helping, I must say. But
I'm very fickle like that myself. I get it. It's day to day.
Yeah, it is. And for people who think in these black-pilled, white-pilled analogies, or people who look around and pay attention to what's going on, you kind of have to be like, yes, we can get through this. If I didn't think we could get through this, I mean, what do you do when you're a father with a family, or a guy with waffles or whatever you have? I don't know.
Sure. It's your duty to do something about this. Yeah,
right,
damn right.
Absolutely,
so man.
Would you say... is your black-pilled to white-pilled ratio, is it 50-50 on the days, or is it a little bit more one than the other?
Dude, I think, if I'm being honest, I feel like it's more black-pilled. But, and here's where, we enter the realm of
Dave
what
Casey is predicting that my children will die. That's what he's saying.
Not even close. I think the more we seek out white pills and find them and ride that lightning, the better your vibe is, the better literally the vibration. So we need better vibrations, and then more white pills will come. The world might start to look better. So yeah, I tend to,
it's
get
nice
dark
hippy-dippy
sometimes,
bullshit there, bro.
Yeah, I know. We got to bring it in. It's the love-illusion, bro. That's what I'm trying to bring back. Yeah,
absolutely. Yeah, I've said before, the only thing that separates me from the hippies is tie-dye is fucking awful, and I won't wear it.
Right.
Like,
did you catch that Tim Pool talk with Mike Heiss and Dave Smith the other day?
I did.
Okay. Did you
Yeah.
catch how many times he was like, he just felt like his commune was under threat with libertarianism? I got that impression. Like,
What do
I
you
would
mean?
be down with you guys.
Oh, yeah.
I'd be down with you guys if you were just cool with me having a commune. And Dave and
We
Mike were
are.
like, yeah,
Everyone
you can have
is.
that. Yeah,
Of course
you
you
can have that, dude. Are you sure, man? Because I don't know. Like, seemed like his only holdup. We
Yeah.
like to be
I don't
together and like share stuff. It's like, yeah.
I don't
That's
know if
cool,
it's
too.
so much of a holdup. I think, like, I listen to Tim Pool on a fairly frequent basis, and he talks about that a lot, like how, lefty libertarianism or ANSOC or whatever, anarcho-socialists, it's like that can work, but it can't work for more than like 10 people at a time. But
Right.
then it just falls apart because you have to have everybody agreeing on everything, basically.
Can't scale up. Right.
Right. So that's perfectly fine, obviously, and he's even pointed out on his own volition, he's said before on there, but, in an ANCAP world, we can have that. Maybe he has. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm misremembering something that Dave said or somebody else said about it.
Right.
But yes, in an anarcho-capitalist world, you can have your little commune. We literally don't care. You can have it way easier than you can have it right now. So if you push for us, we'll push for you. All right? Deal. Okay.
I love it.
So let's get into some stuff. Do we got any comments here worth reading? Tim Brown says, Lubin and Tubin. Thank you. Thank you for that wisdom.
Yeah, Tim.
Shannon Lee says, Dave knows too much. Got to keep Travis. Best of both worlds. Yeah. I mean, there's some middle ground, though, between knowing too much and not knowing the word lynching. That's a conversation I had with Travis recently. And
okay. You had to explain it?
I had to explain what lynching was, which,
Oh, darn.
I mean, just if you don't understand what's going on in politics, fine, but just normal vocabulary of humans is a different circumstance. But yeah, Travis isn't going anywhere. Mostly, not okay. I love Travis. Travis isn't going anywhere. Travis is great and all that. Maybe we'll do a threesome sometime. But the main,
That's great. Travis and I are friends on Facebook now, by the way.
Nice.
So, yeah,
nice.
we already formed the trifecta. So.
Yeah, he's not on the twits yet. We'll get him there as soon as we get him kicked off of Facebook. But yeah, he's also local. Like, that's the main thing. I want to make
And
as
he's your
much.
buddy. Like,
yeah.
that's what you should do is talk to your buddy as much as you can. You got that.
Nah. And the main reason I don't mind ragging on him is because I know for a fact he won't listen to this episode because he doesn't listen to anything. Like, he doesn't pay attention to the news, and he also doesn't even listen to this show that he's a part of to find out what he missed out on while he's on his soiree or whatever. But yeah, whatever. Travis isn't going anywhere yet. Who knows? I said Craig wouldn't go anywhere. I said Scott wouldn't go anywhere. I said Nathan wouldn't go anywhere. I said Cole wouldn't go anywhere. My
Are
wife.
these all co-hosts?
Yeah, my wife used to co-host for a while. Yeah,
Nice.
that's I don't know, it's a rough game. It's mostly because very few people just have this schedule where in the middle of a weekday you can go, hey, you want to go live stream and talk about some news? And Dave Casey is perfect for it, and Travis is as well. Everybody else is dead to me. But anyway, speaking of dead to me, there was some stuff that happened this week, and I want to just play this little short clip here to take a moment and remember those that we have lost. That one stings.
I'm sorry, it is very sad. Oh, the French. I don't know, Lloyd. The French are assholes.
The French are assholes, but they're out there like burning passports and masks and shit while
I
we
know. We're too cozy here,
Yeah.
bro.
we are.
That Mises group, man, that hurts.
It did.
Right after Tim Pool, right? Right after the surge.
Oh yeah, I didn't even think about that. Like,
They know what they're doing.
blowing up immediately after, I'm sure, getting a bunch of hits, and then that, and of course Dave was taken down. A year or two ago, something like that. It's been a while.
Yep.
Yeah, so the Mises, for those that don't know, the Mises Caucus group has been removed from Facebook. It has gone the way of my own former group. I do have a new secret one. Look it up. TSID is down forum on Facebook, but that won't be there for long either, I'm sure. But Mises Caucus group is gone. My brother Craig's Break the Bell podcast group got axed a week ago. But yeah, they're coming back. The censorship is coming back, but it's okay because private businesses, bro. Dave, you got any thoughts on that before we move into some news?
Yeah, I mean, my favorite mom and pop business is Twitter, but second to my next is Facebook. Man, these guys.
Federal government is my favorite mom and pop business.
They followed their dream. They started their business out of a garage or a basement, one or the other, and they picked themselves up by their bootstraps. And Hollywood made movies about it to make sure
They picked
that
themselves up by their bootstraps that you paid for. Yes,
that's right. So yeah, God bless those guys. I'm still on Facebook banned perpetually. They haven't canceled my account yet, but I can't do anything.
Yep. I barely use Facebook. I use it for the group and for some business stuff, and that's about it.
Yeah.
But
now that the group's gone, yeah, I'll use it for business, and that's probably best for me because I should avoid the like Karen types in the the news threads and fighting with them about vaccine stuff, and just avoid that. I'll be better off.
So, this first article that we have here, because this is a very legit news show that we host here. This first one is probably my favorite news article that I've read of the entire year so far. This is from the New York Post, so you know it's legit. Never mind, baby Spencer Eldon sues Nirvana alleging album cover was child. So I saw this trending on Twitter yesterday, and I thought this is incredible, frankly. Like, I laughed legitimately out loud because I feel like this is something that we all kind of had in the back of our minds. What happens when Nevermind Baby grows up and his penis has been shown to every single person in the entire world for the last 25 years? And this is apparently what happens. Do you know anything about this story, Dave?
I've seen the headline quite a bit. I wonder if there's, is there sympathy for this guy? I don't really have that. My headline would have been former baby, current asshole, sues ex
current baby.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah. Right. That's silly, man. He should sue his mom or dad for, offering him up for that piece.
Yeah.
If he wanted to do something.
Yeah. When I first read it, I was like, that's hilarious. I love this timeline that we're living in where the baby from the Nirvana album cover grows up to sue Nirvana for using him.
Right.
But I was like, that kind of makes sense. I feel like I had some sympathy for this. Like, he kind of has a case if that's like something that scarred him, or he's been like taunted for his entire life or whatever. He could have some emotional damage or something like that. He could have a case there, but obviously it was up to his parents, and I think he should take it up with them. Now, that was my first impression, and then I started reading about it, and come to find out, this guy's been like, get this shit out of the way.
He needs money, doesn't he?
Oh yeah. So he's done like yearly posing of this scene. Like, he's recreated this several times. He even said in an article something like he tried doing he wanted to do with the original photographer. He wanted to do a photo shoot. He offered to do it naked. He offered to do an exact recreation of the photo shoot naked, and the photographer said, "Nah, I'm not as comfortable with that. No, don't want to do it." So, like, he's not even saying he had like emotional abuse or whatever. He's saying that because this baby is chasing a dollar bill, this is encouraging sex work for children, apparently. Yeah.
Ooh, that's a reach.
That's quite a reach. And of course, the reason why he had to go that route instead of the emotional distress route is because he clearly doesn't have emotional distress. because he talks about this all the time, and this is the only thing. Like, this is the only thing that he has a career for is being a naked baby on an album cover once. But
it would be weird to have to explain this to, like, I don't know, somebody who's like a teenager now, like, because you wouldn't put that record cover out today for no reason, right?
Yeah.
So I don't know. This guy's he's looking for some bucks, but he should be happy, man. I'm sure every one of those photo shoots he made some money. I mean, maybe his parents didn't save any for him, and that's why he's pissed now.
Yeah, I don't know. He's gone on. He's done many reviews on this, but it says also claims he was forced to engage in commercial sex acts, and that the band went back on alleged promise to conceal his on the album cover. Now,
oh man,
how does he know that they made these promises?
Right. Where's the contract?
Yeah,
who signed it?
Does his parents have evidence that that's the case?
Right.
I kind of doubt it. The permanent harm he has proximately suffered includes, but is not limited to, extreme and permanent emotional distress with physical manifestations, interference with his normal development and educational progress, lifelong loss of income earning capacity. How? You got fewer jobs because you were a celebrity child that gave you less opportunities in life? I find that hard to believe.
Not buying that. Yep.
Loss of past and future wages, bullshit. Past and future expenses for medical and psychological treatment. Then why do you keep posting about it and talking about it and doing interviews about it? Lifelong loss of enjoyment of life. Sorry.
Dude, you're just listening to too much Nirvana. That's your problem.
Exactly. I want somebody to take like some quotes from this guy and turn them into a sad, depressing Nirvana song. Just like super cheesy and lame. And other losses to be described and proven at trial of this matter, the document read. Yeah. Let me see. I'm pissed off about it, to be honest. I've been going through it my whole life, but recently I've been thinking, what if I wasn't okay with my freaking penis being shown to everybody? I didn't really have the choice. And I agree.
This is where he has an actual look. I'm not saying he doesn't have a legal case.
Yeah.
The legal system is a shitty place. And lots of people get money for stuff they probably shouldn't. I mean, just the way he even frames it in the article, it's like, what if I didn't like that picture?
Yeah.
It's like, what if I did?
Well, did you? Did you have a problem with it, or did you not?
It looks like that you were cool with it.
Right. And I don't have him pulled up right now, but I was reading some other articles where he's doing interviews, and he's basically bashing on Nirvana for not giving him more money, for not compensating him. And he's like, "Oh, then what was all this for? Like, if I'm not that important to you?" Like, he was trying to get Nirvana to be involved in some art show or something that he's doing, some art piece or something. I think it might have been the recreation of the image and everything, and they didn't respond, and then he gets all pissy, and this is my understanding. I don't know, but it sounds like he got all pissed off because they weren't willing to support some random art show, even though the band is 1/3 dead and the band itself is no longer a thing. You're going to try and sue them for this thing. This guy's like 30 now. You waited until you were 30? That's when the emotional trauma started kicking in?
I want Dave Grohl to come out at a fucking Foo Fighters show and go, that could have been any baby.
Right. Your baby penis is not special.
Yeah. Say thank you and shut the fuck up.
Yeah. Now, I don't know. Yeah. Again, if it were me and I don't know, I'd feel like I have to know more details. Like, how did this kid's life go? Was he harassed at school? Did people make fun of him his whole life for it? Or were they like, dude, that's awesome, you're on the Nirvana? Like, was he like
this
Jake
is the
Lloyd from
argument, right? If it's the circumcision argument, you didn't pick that. Your parents chose to do it.
And we all know they chose that for you as well.
That's right. Right. We can just assume about everybody else.
Yes.
You, sir.
Everybody knows.
Everybody knows.
Hang your head. Your bald head in shame. I was going to say something else. It's gone. Who cares? Whatever.
Sorry.
I can imagine being like weird about it, but if he has lived this life where he acts like it doesn't matter to him or he's proud of it or whatever, and then eventually he runs out of money and he decides, oh, I have emotional distress, then I'm not buying it. Speaking of fake victims and stupid people, I guess is the best way to put it. This just popped up in my feed this morning, and I have no idea why, but I felt the need to share it because this is where we're at. Do you know what you're about to get into here, Dave?
Dude, I actually scrolled by this morning, but
you were right to do so.
My girl was just waking up, so I didn't want to like play whatever this was. This chick bitching about something, but
yes.
I'm interested.
CD McRae says daddy issues. I assume she's talking about Nirvana Kid, but just wait till you get a load of this. Play, damn it! You are lucky I'm giving you a platform. Would you just play? Oh, Twitter. All right, here we go.
Let's have a moment of honesty because this is a safe corner, and I want to talk about something that never fails to get me, like really get me, and not like get me in a good way. And the thing I'm talking about are freaking towels. So I've been on a journey to like redo my spaces that I live in, and that includes my bathroom. Who knew that finding a towel that was plus size friendly in a mainstream store would be like shopping for a needle in a haystack?
Any thoughts so far, Dave?
She's huge. That's my first thought.
So,
and
starting
really
out, yes.
I don't know. When I was young, look, I felt like a nerd when I was growing up. So I wasn't boastful trying to like show how awesome I was. I would like just mind my fucking business.
Right.
Or like, I don't know. So this lady who just thinks look at her. She's a peacocking for herself in her camera.
Yeah.
And just explaining to the world how great she is, and how it won't bend to her.
Right. And she's
whatever.
got the, like,
pisses me off.
You can tell, I can tell as soon as I hit play on a video, 9 times out of 10, I can tell before they start talking if I'm going to like or hate the person that is about to talk to me, and regardless of what the thing is. And it's just like you start like you got your fat face up in the camera with your
Red
glasses.
Lipstick's not helping.
It's just you indulge yourself
and put your
up.
belly away.
And
I don't care if you have a belly. Just put it away.
Right. You indulge yourself up. You put lipstick on the pig as good as you could, and then you even put like hip-hop music, a hip-hop track behind yourself bitching that you can't find fat towels. Like that's this level of I don't know.
She's fucking oppressed. That's the problem.
Right.
Everywhere I go, there's no fucking large person towels.
Right.
Yeah.
There's not big enough towels. Now it gets even fatter and better.
So I've tried on towels, like literally tried towels on in stores, and have yet to find one that fits my body. Example A. Here I am in the wild trying on towels that are called oversized bath towels. And surprise, surprise,
you're too fat for them.
it didn't fit me. Are we shocked? I mean, with the way that fashion sizing is, I'm not. But it always gets to me because I'm human. And did I cry in Target? Yeah. But here's the thing.
Proud.
This is
proud of the fact that she is too fat to fit into a towel. She's not just proud of that. She's proud of the fact that she wept because she's too fat to fit any of the common denominators amongst society. That's how big you are.
Yeah. This is where the pendulum swings too far, bro. Because back in the day, I think that larger people have a case. All right. All these mannequins are like whatever, 80 pounds. That doesn't represent real life. That's fine. So like they started making stuff to like, all right, this is what like a normal person is. And now it's like, if you don't have an obese mannequin in here with a triple extra large towel for me.
Right.
Oh, Jesus.
It's oppression. It's oppression. You're white too, miss. Settle down. I don't think you're allowed to be this outraged. It reminds me of, I don't know. Have you seen the show The Greatest Showman, or the movie The Greatest Showman?
Is that Hugh Jackman?
Yeah. It's the musical.
I don't
Ringling
think I've
Brothers.
watched the whole. I know I'm familiar with it, but I haven't seen that.
Decent movie. It basically feels like a long trailer. Good music though. But there's one line in one song. It always comes back to me and rubs me the wrong way. The overweight bearded woman, great actress. She's fantastic. I have nothing against overweight bearded women. I'm not going to date you. That's fine. There's somebody out there for you though.
It's a preference. Sure.
Yes, but there's a line in one of the songs where the fat bearded lady says, "And I know that I deserve your love, because there's nothing I'm not worthy of." Why? Based off of what?
Entitlement.
based
Right.
off of you being obese with a beard. Like, that does not earn you anything, madam. I'm
That
sorry.
would be the only thing that would make this chick worse. Is a fucking beard.
But Dave, she deserves your love, and there is nothing she's not worthy
Feels like she could take it if she wanted it.
Yes. C.D. McRae says white women must be stopped.
Right.
Let's see if there's anything else here.
My embarrassment is now replaced by frustration and rage. Is it too much to ask for towels to fit plus-size bodies?
Yeah.
Is it? It's not whether or not we have towels to fit plus-size bodies. It's, have you gone past that point? Are you beyond plus size? Are you like extra double plus? I don't know. I mean, sure, maybe there is like a lack of towels that are big enough for the normal fat people in the United States. I don't know. I don't have that problem anymore, guys, because I
have noticed that. Look at you, dude, from
ate
that video.
a little bit less for a while.
Yeah, you worked hard. I can tell.
Not really.
No, you just did it. See, it's not that hard, lady. Put your belly away. Do a couple fucking sit-ups.
We all have our own struggles. I'm not here to fat shame, but if you are going to the store and things don't fit you, like I was large enough that I did not like shopping for myself for a long, long time. But you know, that's not everybody else's problem. It's not everybody else's fault.
I'm bringing fat shaming back because you know what? It's these huge bitches that are doing leading the charge for the COVID stuff, right? They're these diabetic fucks. They're the ones who are eating all the shit, doing all the crap, and yelling at people like me for not wearing a mask for their unhealthy lifestyle. Right?
And they've been called healthy for the last 2-3 years. Like
we shouldn't have lied
we're
to them
supposed
like
to
that.
accept that this is health. Like this is
not okay.
peak health, and now we're in a pandemic where obese people and people with underlying conditions, lots of those underlying conditions caused by obesity, we're supposed to accept that they're healthy, but they are more susceptible to dying from this thing, but it's our fault that you are more susceptible. Just give me a break.
I think it's 75% of COVID deaths have been by diabetic, obese Americans.
Yeah.
So just take that out of the picture for a second and certainly stop yelling at people. If you are obese or you got diabetes, stop yelling at other people because it's not masks. It's you guys.
There's YouTube videos, I'm sure, on how to sew 2 bath towels together and wrap them around your large self like a cozy burrito. Cozy, stuffed Chipotle burrito, obviously, because those are the ones where they're like this, and they're like exploding. I don't know how the burritos at Chipotle stay together. I don't know what those tortillas are made out of. They seem really thin, but they stretch and they never break, and it's really amazing. That's what she needs. That's what she needs.
She needs a quadruple extra large
Chipotle
burrito wrap.
So moving right along, in some good news, we've got this from Newsweek.com. So you know it's legit. Donald Trump booed at Alabama rally after encouraging crowd to get COVID-19 vaccine. Dave, have you heard about this?
I did. We talked about this on my show a little bit. I got Alex Jones's reporting on Trump getting booed, which was just made it extra special.
Oh, nice.
Because he's so disappointed in his guy.
How do you even know when Alex Jones says something anymore? Like,
unless I catch it on Twitter. That's where, I rarely go to InfoWars, but I follow Alex Jones Was Right on Twitter.
Okay. I'm not familiar.
They put out some quality content, little snippets. But this is great, man. I love that he thinks he can come out and he owns these people. And hey, I know you got your freedom. But I got the shot. You should probably get it. And I love it.
It's great that anybody did. It's fantastic. Now, the more disappointing part is the amount of booing that actually happened, and we'll listen to it here and see, because the news media is like spinning this as, oh, there's some Trump supporters that are outrageously turning on Trump and they're booing him. They're booing him because they're so obsessed with COVID. Now, it is beautiful that it completely destroys their narrative that it's just a bunch of crazy Trump supporters because Trump is anti-vax, so they're all anti-vax. Like, no, actually, they
wanted the fuck you guy. They got him, and if he trails off, they're gonna ditch him.
Right.
That's what it looked like. I love that.
So let's listen to a bit of this.
India is doing so well. India is being decimated right now. We did a great job on that. The ventilators, the equipment that we got, the cupboards were all bare. Everything that we did, and then we developed a vaccine, 3 vaccines in 3 months.
It's also funny that nobody ever talks about the fact that this vaccine that everybody's pushing was, made by Donald Trump, they would have said when he was making it. It's the same vaccine that you guys were freaking out about when Donald Trump was making it. And I said at that time, I'm not taking that. Also, Kamala Harris said that, and I believe Joe Biden even said it. But now it's now that they took the same vaccine and handed it past the Olympic torch to Biden, now it's God's gift to humanity, and Trump is an anti-vaxxer, which makes absolutely no sense at all.
Amazing.
In 9 months, and actually, I'll tell you, it was 3 days less. 3 days less than 9 months.
I'm also glad that Trump is pushing the vaccine. Like, I'm happy because that distance yourself from anything that I agree with, because I don't support you and you're getting worse by the day. And if he comes back around and runs for president, I hope that there's not a bunch of, I don't know. I don't even want to speak on future elections because who the hell knows where we're going to be by then, if we even make it that far. But
And it's great. And you know what? I believe totally in your freedoms. I do. Bree, you got to do what you have to do.
I really do.
I recommend take the vaccines. I did it. It's good. Take the vaccines.
it's good.
It's good.
Yeah. Now let's
You'll
listen
be
to
the first to know if it's not.
Right. Let's listen to these
It's good.
boos.
Take the vaccines. But you got, no, that's okay. That's all right. You got your freedoms. But I happen to.
It's not enough.
You got, I hear you. Freedom and everything.
Right.
But
now I'm saying, like, yay, some people booed, but I don't see anybody behind them booing. It's not enough for me. Everybody should have been booing this man, and you should. Even though he's not currently saying vaccine mandates, he is a part of the same propaganda campaign at this point. Clearly, we need more people pushing against that, regardless of what side the person is on. If Ron DeSantis comes out and says, "Well, you should probably get it because it's really good," like that's just the first step. That's where they all start, and then they work their way down the shit totem pole until they are loading you onto boxcars. Not to be too hyperbolic, but Dave, any thoughts?
yeah, I mean, you're right. I wish that it was more people booing. But I mean, I don't know. There could be some mic magic going on there. We don't know. It looks like it was enough for him to like address some people and go, all right. So he doesn't like to be heckled.
Josh Smith said, "Y'all just ignoring me." WTF? Josh,
fuck?
Josh, you want to hop on the call and join?
Oh, that'd be awesome. Yeah.
Josh, I'm not ignoring you. I'm just not a whore like you that reads every single goddamn comment. Because I have a show to run, Joshua.
Love that guy.
Josh, if you want to jump in here, I can shoot you a link. It'll be the same one I sent you last time, probably. But that's that. Let me know. Okay, so let me jump back to this so I can figure out where we're going next. This was a fun one. I don't know if this is... I just came across this. I think it's new. I don't know what this program is or whatever, but I thought that you'd get a chuckle at it, Dave, and we'll enjoy it together.
Nice.
And of course, it's not going to work because nothing works ever. The first try.
And I love it.
You saw it?
Yep, love it.
Look out for maybe language that they use, their young sons might be using,
Telltale
or
signs.
behaviour that they might have.
Some telltale signs.
For maybe language that they use, their young sons might be using,
Telltale
or
signs.
behaviour that they might have.
Yes, they can. So there are lots of bits of language that might be red flags referring to people as normies or as triggered. Normies is the
Normies and triggered and all these days.
These are all my
favorite words.
outside their community. Triggered, based, cucked, describing being red-pilled or black-pilled, which are words they...
She sounds so concerned. Like, this reminds me of, like, have you seen those old, like, news bits where they're, like, warning people about, like, emo? Kids are using these newfangled terms like emo, and they might be cutting themselves. They are. They are because of you, boomers. They are because the entire world has been going to shit for the last, I don't know, 33 years. As long as I've been alive, I don't know what was happening before that. But, yeah, it's great hearing these people with very, very proper British, we're going to talk to each other like we're sophisticated. Oh, cocked and normies and the triggereds.
Watch out for the based ones. And also the red pills. Something to be on the lookout for.
Yeah, Josh said, I'm at work, guys. I'm really sorry. LMFAO. You did not. I would. Yeah, but some people don't have normie jobs. I don't know if I'm allowed to say that anymore or if that's a little too based and cucked
yeah, you
or
can't say
what have
that.
you.
Sure.
Yeah.
It's describe being infiltrated into the ideology.
You know, it is like the best time ever in my life to be like, it's the easiest to be edgy now. It's way easier than it's ever been. Like, you used to have to go out of your way and drop N-bombs here and there. Now you can say normie. Normie is the new N-word that'll make you edgy.
Oh my God. Dude, I'm currently serving 30 days on a Facebook ban for the initials GFY. I didn't even type it out, bro. Like, this is toddler shit. You can't say that. So yeah, we're
What was it in response to?
You know, some Karen on a thread about probably masks or vaccines or something, and I just, you know.
I didn't know that.
GFY.
I don't use Facebook all that much anymore, but I didn't know that they had sunk to the level of GFY, or even go fuck yourself being too far.
Oh yeah, I knew that would get you, but it's an instant algorithm thing. It wasn't even like I was reported. So if you, they don't want that at all.
Yep, we gotta work on new code, guys. We should start a group that's just solely for the purpose of coming up with new code slang for these words that we're not allowed to say. So if you know, you know. I guess that would probably be called like dog whistle group or something like that.
We got to come up with some really great dog whistles, guys.
Right. Dog Whistles Anonymous. Dog Whistlers Anonymous.
Yep.
And it's worth saying as well that they see this as a kind of conduit to other forms of extremism. It isn't completely separate from far-right, white nationalist, white supremacist movements. They actually really see it as a slipway. So parents might see a combination of perhaps also racism creeping in as well. The incel community is a very racist community. This is a racist ideology. And of course, white supremacist is a deeply misogynistic ideology.
How is white supremacy a deeply misogynistic ideology? Like, you're just throwing in as many buzzwords, or dare I say, dog whistles as you can to make people afraid of words like normie and cucked and
man,
and it's all just clearly, like, blatantly, flagrantly in an attempt to label anybody out there like us who use these super edgy new words. Label us as terrorists and white supremacists. You just if you say based. You are now lumped like we went from like, oh, if you're a crazy Alex Jones conspiracy theorist, then you're inciting violence. Oh, you don't 100 you don't think that January 6th is the worst thing to ever happen to our country, so you must be a terrorist. And then it was libertarians. Even libertarians are terrorists. Now it's if you say based.
Yeah,
that's how far we've come.
This video really does remind me of that John Brennan video from MSNBC a few months back, where they very purposefully go on, and they know what's picking up steam, man. They go on Twitter. They see Reed Coverdale's tweets going after neocons, saying, I mean, I read through the list, and I was just like, this is so funny. This is he's going after neocons hard. Shout out to Reed Coverdale.
Yeah.
Can we throw what he said? My God, can this white lady throw it anyway? Exactly. It's all the buzzwords, man. That's what I'm saying. Reed came out with bitch, fuck, cuck. That's what he was using to call people. I was just like, that's so great. Thank you for including all those.
Yes.
But yeah, dude, they're talking specifically about our friends. That's who they're talking about.
Right.
You know, and I'm sure other people too, but
how do you know when you're over the target? Like that it kind I don't know if it makes me more black-pilled or more white-pilled when these things are coming out, but it's like, how do you know when you're over the target? When they start putting out propaganda saying libertarians love vaccine mandates more than even mask mandates, or they say if you use these words that certain groups seem to use, then you are a white supremacist, which sounds like an awful lot of the LP establishment as well. Just pushing this propaganda bullshit, just trying to get
fuck those guys. If you're in the LP and you're calling people fucking white supremacists or Nazis or brown shirts, if you are using that kind of language inside the LP, go fuck yourself. Amen. These are like job ending, just you could destroy somebody with that. So you better be sure that this isn't, you're not imagining some dog whistle.
Yeah.
Because really that pisses me off more than most things, that you're gonna basically be John Brennan or this fucking cucked lady on TV who's totally unbased and unred-pilled.
So unbased.
Yeah, she's so unbased. So, yeah, awful. The UK and Australia, I tell you what, these are some shithole countries.
Australia's gone. I should have played the taps earlier for the entire country of Australia, because I don't know how you come back from this. I don't have an article for this, but it just came out either this morning or yesterday. They're setting up camps. They're talking about camps, health camps, to put people in and forcibly put people in health camps. Right. I don't know where you guys think the Holocaust started, or how awful Gina Carano is for saying, "Oh, it starts with your neighbor, your neighbor ratting you out, or your neighbor thinking you're the enemy, being convinced of this division that the people that you disagree with are your enemy." I don't know where you think the Holocaust starts, but I don't know at what point we can start making the comparisons. But there's camps in Australia now. They take away the guns. Which I guess I heard that some people have gotten their guns back since then. Like, that didn't go very well. I don't know, but they're whether they have guns or not is irrelevant because they're not doing anything with them. And I'm not going to say they should. Wink, wink, wink. But it's not looking very pretty over there. And I'm sorry for Crocodile Dundee and Steve Irwin. I'm sure they're rolling in their cranky graves right now. But let's move on to something else. Speaking of super based, this is from thepostmillennial.com, so you know it's legit. Chemistry teacher no longer employed after anti-Trump rant to students goes viral.
Yeah.
Did you hear about this one?
I think this lady.
Yeah.
Yes, I did see this. And I love it because she's so stupid. You shouldn't be teaching people if you're that stupid and
Yes.
that tilted towards anything. And you deserve to lose your job. And I'm glad that it was on the other side because it's so easy for the other side to get reprimanded these days.
Yeah, I think this is the video.
What y'all think?
I don't care what you think, student.
Trump's wrong, and so are your parents, and the kids are laughing at her.
Yeah.
He's a sexual predator. He's a literal moron.
Perhaps. You know who else is? All the rest of them. Every single president has allegations of some sort or another about sexual predatorness. And for Joe Biden, we've seen him so many times.
Hair sniffer in chief.
To the point that it's a meme and a joke now. Our president sniffs children, okay? Yeah. Like, Trump's got some allegations. Biden's got some even more flagrant allegations than sniffing children. But we see some real clear signs. And same with Trump. I'm not supporting Trump. But that has nothing to do with how he runs a White House. And it's such weak, I don't know. There's a term for
deflection.
It. Right, yeah.
They look at that crazy person, Trump.
Yeah.
That guy's not crazy. Biden's not crazy. Look at that guy who's not fit for office, Trump.
Yeah, just saying,
that guy's fit for office.
Well, he's dumb. He's a literal moron. Like, okay, well, you're a teacher. This is what's teaching our children. And not, mind you, not teaching our children history, teaching our children chemistry.
Thanks for taking a break to let everybody know your political preferences.
Yes.
Thank you.
Time out. And I'm sure it started with some kid making a douchey, probably not even douchey. I have no idea. I'm just speculating. Some kid said something about Trump that was favorable, and teacher goes off on him.
Go tattle on me to the freaking admin. They don't give a crap. No, he is not. What are you talking about? Turn off the Fox News. Do your parents listen to Fox News?
I couldn't even understand what she was saying at the end there. Could you
turn off the Fox News? Do your parents watch the Fox News?
Okay, yeah. But she didn't even give a single shred of justification for her statements. Like, it's such Karen-y bullshit, like Karen-y Facebook bullshit, where it's like, no, he's literally a Nazi. Like, but you don't even understand what the word literally means, because he's literally not a Nazi. He's a bad guy in many ways. And also your statement isn't valid because there's something in between God's gift to humanity, like the Honorable Joe Biden, and a literal Nazi. But there's no nuance in our society anymore. You don't have to do everything your parents say, and you don't have to believe everything your parents believe, because most likely you're smarter than them. That is some cult bullshit right there.
Yeah. Listen to me.
Right.
I'll tell you what's right.
As a chemistry teacher of like a third grade class, I know what you guys need to know about politics, and that is Trump's dumb. Okay, you guys are dumb. That's dumb. Like this is what the state has employed to teach your children chemistry. Stop listening to your parents. Listen to me. Like, that is cult mentality of severing the the relationships with it's cult mentality for children in a public school. Like, we're not even talking about going to, I don't know, I don't even have an example of another place where this would be acceptable, but it's not even like they were in a debate group or anything like that. This is just out of nowhere. Stop listening to your parents. And we've heard with all this COVID stuff and the switching to like online schooling, all these stories have come out of parents finding out what teachers are teaching kids, and it's often not great. And the teachers don't like the fact that they don't have that barrier anymore between them and the parents to find out what their kids are being taught. Dave, you got any thoughts?
Yeah, just, I mean, a couple things. One, this woman is unremarkable at best.
Yes.
And I think that's a microcosm of the indoctrination system that we have set up. Unremarkable people go and teach kids that they don't really want to. They don't really want to be there to educate.
Yeah.
Lots of them feel the need to.
The teachers don't want to be there, or the kids don't want to be there.
Well, kids, that's
both.
natural. The kids don't want to be there because of the system being so awful, but
Right.
the teachers don't care about the kids or care about educating. And too often they are looking to yeah, she's a chemistry teacher, but she wants to make sure that they understand her. This is how pervasive politics has got. Like,
yeah,
she doesn't care about chemistry or these kids or the time or the tax dollars that went into this or her generous salary that she gets and her 3 months off. All she wants to talk about is Donald Trump. Donald Trump's not even fucking president anymore.
Donald Trump's not even close to being president at this very particular moment in time. Right. Why do you care so much about Donald Trump? And not only that, yeah. Well, let's read a little bit more of this because I'm sure there's plenty more to dig into. That's pathetic that you think that. You're the problem with the world, she told a student. I don't care what y'all think. Trump sucks. Like, listen to this argument. This is like, if this was I would love to have had, a teacher in high school, and I did have one. Turns out he hit on underage girls. Found out later, as apparently all the good ones do. Just kidding. No, he was really cool as a teacher. He was one of my favorite teachers. It's really sad and disheartening that I don't know all the details, but some creepy underage stuff happened long after I was in high school, but very recently. But he was like. He was a self-proclaimed communist, and I wish I could go back and have conversations with him. But even though he was that, he would have open dialogues with the kids, and he would challenge them on things and make them think. That is fine. He wasn't teaching us communism. Like, he was teaching us about different things, and he left it open for conversation. I think that's great. But this is not that. This is not what we're talking about here. She got triggered because somebody said Donald Trump in her classroom, a child who knows probably more than she does, actually, about Donald Trump, because she clearly has no argument here other than, I don't like him and your parents are stupid.
There's nothing that a kid in school should say where a teacher gets to go, that's stupid.
Right.
You don't, that's
especially a political opinion.
Right.
Good Lord. But yeah, the child asks, what's wrong with Trump? And she says, he's a sexual predator. He is a literal moron, the teacher said. Another student pointed out that this is chemistry class, to which the teacher responded, go tattle on me to the freaking admins. They don't give a crap. One student shot back, Joe Biden is a pedophile. She responded, no, he's not. Turn off Fox News. So I'm glad we did read that, because that was more fun than what I could make out in that audio. But so yeah, it's like she's stooping down to the children to argue at their level, and at the level, like, her opinion is just as salient as the children's was. Joe Biden is this. No, Donald Trump is this. No, Donald Trump is this. No, Joe Biden is this. Without actually saying anything. So it's a moron arguing with children that are at the same intelligence level, if not higher, than her.
One more white woman that must be stopped.
Amen. And in the comments, self-proclaimed white woman, I assume, Shannon Lee says, baseless. Thank you. It looks like we've got mostly white women in the comments here talking about...
you guys are the good ones.
Yes, thank you. And we all know why you're in the chat. It's because your man is out doing the work and you're actually sitting at home just watching. Just kidding. My wife is at work while I sit here in my cozy office and skip out on doing work today for you guys. So there's that. But thank you guys. You're awesome. Keep them coming. But Tim Brown says, come on, open it up. Says, dang, that kid is based to the bone. Okay. Thank you, Tim. He's old. He'll get better with the jokes as time goes on. Love you, Tim. This next one comes from CBSNews.com. So you know it's legit. Speaking of, let me see. Arguments that probably don't have a whole lot of validation. Shannon Lee says, "Wow, friend." From CBSNews.com. So you know it's legit. How climate change helped strengthen the Taliban.
Yeah. It's a direct line.
Yes. The Taliban pipeline straight from the sky.
That's it.
Right on into Afghanistan and Kabul. Any guesses? I haven't actually read this one yet. I just saw the headline. I was like, well, we got to at least poke into this a bit to find out how they're spinning this. Do you have any guesses on how the Taliban or how climate change helped the Taliban?
Oh my God, dude. I mean, there's
Which
so
obviously
many...
is going to make that our fault too because we're driving our evil cars around.
Sure. Right. No, what's the connection there?
Let's find out. It couldn't possibly be all the military expenses and all the exhaust from tanks and planes and shit like that.
Right.
Yeah.
The tire fires that killed Biden's kid. You know.
Sure. Yeah.
Sure. Not any of that stuff.
And like, I don't think we should worry about if this is the direction they're going. I'm speculating, but if it is the direction that it's the exhaust from Hummers and SUVs and jets and shit like that. How about the fact that we just gave a military force to the Taliban? Our tax dollars just handed them a military force.
Yeah.
You want to talk about strengthening the Taliban? I don't think it's cow farts more than it is the weaponry and the arsenal that we passed off to them as we scrambled away. I could be wrong. Rural Afghanistan has been rocked by climate change. The past 3 decades have brought floods and drought that have destroyed crops and left people hungry. And the Taliban, likely without knowing climate change was the cause, has taken advantage of that pain. Yes, the economy and the food and all that, it's 100% because of climate change. It's not because they are a third world country that doesn't have like agriculture and things to sustain well. Like
opium was doing fine for the past 20 years. That was doing all right.
But it's not like they're talking like Afghanistan was this booming metropolis and now they're suffering and dying because they don't have any farmers, and that's all because of cow farts. Dave, if you have any thoughts, feel free to jump in while I burp.
Let's see. I just caught the World Bank. According to the World Bank, the country is famous for pomegranates, pine nuts, raisins, and more. Not heroin.
Audio shows are better when you read out loud, Dave.
I'll tell you. I saw the World Bank. That's what caught my eye. So,
yeah.
And United Nations up there. What are they talking about? Yeah, dude, this sounds like a bunch of bullshit.
Where are you looking at? What are you talking about? Oh, down here.
Yeah.
Over the last 20 years, agriculture has ranged from 20 to 40% of Afghanistan's GDP, according to the World Bank. Dun da da. Wait, we need a sound effect. According to World Bank, the country is famous for its pomegranates, pine nuts, raisins, and more. That more, of course. What do you think that more is?
Oh, that's straight up, Mr. Brownstone, son.
However, climate change has made farming increasingly difficult. Whether from drought or food-ravaged soil, farmers in the region struggle to maintain productive. So there's nothing here. This is nothing. This is just trying to. And frickin' Charlie Chester on CNN with that. You saw the Project Veritas leak where it's him talking about COVID and saying that they were pushing it, keeping the ticker up there for the fear porn. Did you see those clips?
A little bit.
Yeah. And then in one of them, he says, yes, the next thing is going to be climate change. We're going to be focusing on that. So no surprise that this Taliban thing is we're just going to try and lump climate change in there, just getting you guys priming the pump for the next thing. But have you noticed on Twitter over on the right-hand side where they'll have like one news article up at the top, it has been nonstop Taliban news for like the last 2 weeks straight.
Yeah.
Like they do not want you to stop thinking about how terrible it is that we're leaving Afghanistan right now.
Well, did you see that I think multiple Marines have been killed in a suicide bombing, they're calling it?
Yeah, that was just today, right? There's an explosion.
Think so.
I think it was like
dude.
13 people and like 3 military men were killed.
So again, I mean, this reminds me of like when they were trying to get Assad out, right? Like you got to look at the motive there. Like I don't know shit about shit. I don't know what happened. I haven't seen any video or anything. But immediately I'm thinking, what's in it for the Taliban? Like, why would they do that? They just got
I almost posted on Twitter this morning when I saw that news article. I almost posted, so the Taliban is bombing the Taliban?
Right.
Like,
come on.
Yeah.
This looks like an obvious, ploy to get back in there and do more stuff. I think the appetite is there too, man, because America is filled with bloodthirsty imperialists that would be cool with it.
Shanley says, at least all the Asian hate is gone.
Thank God.
Oh, yes. I'm sure we all feel much safer now. That that lasted for a week, tops.
Oh, my God.
Stop Asian hate. Stop it.
Yeah,
stop. Donald Trump's out. Who cares about the Asians? Whatever. Who gives a shit? But as long as there's fear porn, who cares? Who cares? Who goes down with it? But yeah, I was wondering the same thing. I didn't want to jump straight into, against my better judgment, I didn't want to jump straight to, well, that's probably fake, right? Like, that doesn't seem... People are saying, I've seen some people say, oh, it's ISIS. Where's ISIS been?
Right.
Like, what was ISIS doing the last, I don't know,
hanging
15
out with the
years?
flu.
Right.
Boom!
Like, ISIS comes out of nowhere. When the Americans are trying to leave the country, ISIS is like, no, you stop and you die now. This is our last chance to kill you. Why wouldn't they just be like, please go? Why would they bomb us as we're leaving when they know that bombing us is going to prevent us from leaving and force us to do the obvious thing that I've been predicting for the last year since Biden started talking about this?
They must want us to stay for another 100 years. Happy to oblige.
I'm just
John
waiting
McCain
for
is
it.
very
I'm
happy.
waiting for that press conference where Biden comes out after giving his speech that I thought was pretty good about leaving. He comes out and he's like, I said it. You heard me say it. I really wanted to. It was the right move. I know it was the right move. Circumstances have changed, and we don't have a choice now. We have to go get our people, and then once we get our people out, this is the fine print. Once we get our people out, we're just going to stay because it's going really good for us. Yeah, I think it's coming.
We get to wash all our money, make awesome bombs for Boeing and Raytheon, and
do you think they'll
drop
go
them all over this?
Do you think they'll go that route? Because, as I think it was Dave Smith said, if they got out and it's a disaster, yes, but if we go back in, it's going to be way worse because it's going to take like 100,000 or $100 trillion or whatever, an exorbitant amount of money, 100,000 troops, I think is what he said, to go back in rather than the 5,000 to 10,000 that we are getting out. Because now the Taliban is Afghanistan, and we just gave them a military force. So if we go back in...
You think that could be the equivalent of like putting a gun on the perp so you can shoot him? Like, and I don't know how many planes are leaving that place a day. Eric Prince, Blackwater, just said he would do $6,500 a person. He'll take anybody you want out of Afghanistan, by the way. So if you're looking for a flight and you got a spare 65 hundo, hit up Blackwater. They'll get you out of there. But they're taking thousands upon thousands.
You said it's $6,500 to have somebody gotten out of there?
That's what Blackwater would charge. He said he would do get as many. He's capable, he says, of getting people out of Afghanistan. And
that's going to be way cheaper than the route we're going now. So why don't they just pay some of these guys to sneak in there, steal some of our peeps? And this
private business, bro.
Yeah, this bombing that happened, it was like, from what I understand, it was like across the street. It was like 100 yards from the airport. They were going to be picked up by a helicopter 100 yards from the airport because the airport's too dangerous. I don't know for sure if that's the case, but they were that close to the airport. They were going to be airlifted by helicopter, and then it got blown up. So it is tragic for the people that we're being told have died, and I have no reason to believe that people aren't dead because I don't have any, like, false flag doesn't mean that people aren't dead because our government has proven that we can be casualties in their military operations. So I think that's enough on that sad story. Speaking of things that are, I don't know, blackpilling, I suppose. It's one of those days.
I'll take it in, dude. My black heart is ready for it.
I'm sure you're familiar with this story. This comes from thehill.com, so you know it's legit. Vaccine mandates, a liberty-minded perspective. Over the target. All right, we'll keep going then. We'll keep going until we're on all the lists. Your right to punch the ends where my nose begins. What? Your right to punch ends where my nose. Okay, I get it now. All right. That quote attributed to various sources is a libertarian maxim now invoked in connection with COVID vaccine mandates. Here's the controversy. If the vaccine causes no appreciable injury, do you even want to read this? I've got so much to talk about today.
I can surmise this, dude. They are trying to, and I've said this from the beginning. The masks were the first thing, and that would lead to the vaccine being the legal argument.
Yeah.
That you have to do this for me and I have to do it for you. That you have no right to spread a virus. They're trying to make that legal precedent. So the mask was the first thing. Oh, I'm wearing this for you and you wear it for me. And then the vaccine becomes that thing. The legal precedent is now set. Oh, you know, if you were just trying to, you have the right to refuse a vaccine that would just prevent you from getting sick, but not me.
Right.
That's what they want real bad so that they can force that thing on you.
Well, you have the right to lock yourself in your fucking house and then you're fine. I have the right to also do that or to leave. And you can leave if you want to. That is the risk you take. And when you get into a motorized vehicle, guess how much more of a risk you have of dying than COVID? It's more. I don't know the numbers. Just know it's more. And we do that all the time. All the time.
Risk assessment.
Yeah, so point being, we've got new assholes speaking for us again. The liberty-minded folks are coming out and letting you know that vaccine mandates are okay.
Liberty spooks.
Liberty spooks. And why do these passports matter? Why are they such a big deal? Oh, I don't know. Maybe from fee.org, you know, it's legit. 4 newborns die after being denied heart surgery because of COVID travel restrictions.
Oh, my God.
Yes.
Dude.
For our health, for our safety, for our benefit, for the future of this country, for the children. Think of the children. We must let these children die because of COVID travel restrictions. We can't give them heart surgery.
This is one of the worst things I've heard, dude, since this has started. And another trend I'm seeing is that hospitals, like, they're going to blame it, I'm sure, on other things, but healthcare professionals are quitting in mass or they're being fired in mass. And there's already cancer screenings. They're just not people that operate, you know, I saw a video the other day of a guy who is one of 2 people in his city that operates a particular type of machine, a medical device. Mm-hmm. And neither of these 2 guys are going to get the vaccine. So there will be nobody in the city to operate this thing that, you know, people depend on. So this is just another microcosm, man. People, you know, breast cancer screenings and like people are going to quit. There's not going to be enough people to do these jobs.
Yeah.
They're purging good healthcare workers. They're purging good military personnel, purging cops, all these like purging good teachers.
I mean, they're purging the like mentally ill people. They're purging people with illnesses or disabilities. New York right now is trying to force businesses to fire people for having disabilities. I feel like we have laws against that. Not necessarily that I agree that those laws should be there, but they're currently there, and it's a monstrous thing to do, especially if the government is the one enforcing. You have to fire this person because they have a disability, and of course that disability is what's preventing them from being able to get the vaccine by their doctor's recommendation. But there's no nuance. There is no nuance at all. It's perfect for everybody, and it's great because Joe Biden said so. Guess what? Donald Trump said so too. Is it still for everybody or not? I don't know. So, tragically, the COVID-19 pandemic has been a virtual laboratory for lessons in unseen evils that have resulted from pursuing a present good, quote unquote. 4 babies died in Adelaide, Australia. Of course, it's Australia. There was also this guy. I don't have the article for it, but did you hear about the guy who like was on the lam he went out in public while he allegedly had COVID, and he was seen on camera sneezing in an elevator, and then they arrested him just today. They tracked down this evil fugitive, and I think they beat the shit out of him, and the crowd cheered.
This is they've done it, dude.
They're
He is
gone.
the other. He's a zombie. You know what I mean? You can put down zombies. This is what they want.
Right.
The whole war on terror. Every American. Gung ho American. Yeah.
Yep.
Kill these bastards. These fucking unhuman. That's what they got to do. They got to create that, and they've done it here at the same time. While we're talking about certain groups being extremists and all these other things, dude, but we are already the other, bro.
Yeah.
We are so the other that I don't know how close we are. Not to get too black pill, but fuck.
No,
dude.
I mean that's what I started out talking about. Like that's how I felt this morning, waking up to some of this news. I'm like, oh my god, like the stuff that we've been talking about forever. It's like it's not 100% in our day-to-day life, but you can look out and see it happening in the world in these like completely developed, civilized countries that have been peaceful for most of their existence. So back to this story, we'll get a little bit into it. Adelaide, the capital city of... Oh, by the way, the chats are getting awfully quiet. Did we get a little too dark for y'all, or did you just bail because you had to get back to washing some dishes or folding hubby's laundry?
I'm like gonna make themselves.
Yes. Yes, let's just bash the like 3 people. No, wait, we're down to 2. Bash. Sorry, ladies, we love you, and I can't believe that we have ladies that listen to this. I'm like honored because it's a libertarian-ish kind of douchey show. So I'm glad you guys have sense of humor. That's awesome. Shannon Lee says I'm driving. Wow, women can do that.
I just called the cops. There's no fucking way we can allow that.
Oh my God. They let 2 women drive. CD McRae says me too. Hashtag me too. She should have said, but we can't expect women to have the good jokes. I'm kidding, guys. I love women. I'm married to one, and at least one of them is okay. But let's read more of this sad story in between our sexist, misogynistic jokes. The distance from blah, blah, blah to there is about 725 kilometers, a flight of roughly 75 minutes, while the distance to Sydney is about 1,375 kilometers. I don't even know what that means. This is some metric bullshit here. We should have bombed Australia a long time ago for still being on the metric system.
They need us to drop some democracy on those guys.
Hey, if World War II needed us so desperately, where do we jump in here? How far? That's what I want to ask some people. Like, sure, you can make the argument, we gotta attack China, which is a terrible idea. Do you think, it always comes back to, well, should we have intervened in World War II and saved all those Jews from the Nazis? It's like, well, should we go bomb Australia right now? Do you really think that we should bomb Australia? And it's not like Australia would be a threat to us, but do you really think that we should bomb Australia?
And I'll just add that we didn't stop the Holocaust.
Oh, I know.
We kind of waited on that one. And
yeah.
Anything else we could help with? No?
Yeah.
Russia took care of it? All right.
My interview with Scott Horton at PorkFest, we dug into that a lot. So check that out, because we're not going to right now. The infants never left. The Adelaide news reports indicated, presumably because doctors either determined they would not survive the lengthy trip or because Sydney Children's Hospital at Westmead, the lone hospital available due to travel restrictions, lacked the capacity to treat them. So whether it's like they couldn't travel or all the places were shut down because of COVID bullshit, it is the government that killed these 4 babies in honor and in defense of your health. Do we need to spend more time on this, Dave?
I want to get out of that. I'm sorry. It's the worst thing I've ever heard.
Yeah, it's pretty bad. And speaking of, I don't know, evils relating to children, to keep it lighthearted, we're moving on to my personal favorite, CNN.com, so you know it's legit. We're going to find out why so many people, this is This is actually an article from back in 2016. CNN predicted the future with this one. Hashtag CNN was right. They predicted that people would be against vaccines and things. And why are people against vaccines? From CNN.com, seems legit. Are there unintended consequences to calling breastfeeding, quote, natural? What do you think, Dave? Are there unintended consequences to calling breastfeeding natural?
I love. Was this 5 years old? Yeah, man, planting some seeds to make people who use the formula feel okay.
Mm-hmm. That along with Bill Gates saying that he was pushing for like artificial breast milk and buying up all the farmland and all that shit.
Right.
Like none of this stuff's tied together, I'm sure.
This is tied to transhumanist bullshit that it's okay to make a powder that's as good as mother's milk. No, it's fucking bullshit. You can't do it as good as nature can, man. You can't do it as good as God can, but they want to so bad. You can't live your life healthy without this thing that isn't from nature. You need this thing. It's just, that's their argument. They can do better than God can. And I'm an atheist. I'm just saying that's their MO.
Yeah, I mean, all of this is trying to play God. It's trying to take life into your own hands. It's trying to determine what everybody else is and isn't allowed to think and do, and it's playing God. And they are allowed to play God because they have found the ways to replace God with worship of the state. And we're going to find out some of that right now. Breastfeeding, quote, it's only natural. End quote. It's a message women may have seen on Facebook or a state health department website or heard on the radio as part of a campaign launched in 2013 by the Department of Health and Human Services. And of course, the left is supposed to be it's natural, you can breastfeed, obviously that's okay. You should be able to do it like anywhere. You should be able to whip out your boob at any point in time. Is their opinion. And I can debate both sides of that argument, but whatever. The libertarian view obviously is who gives a shit, and that is mostly my stance. But for the same people who are like, oh, you need to be able to whip it out anywhere, to switch to, well, actually, you can, just don't call it natural. Don't call it a good thing. But according to a pair of experts, this type of campaign could backfire in a big way. When federal and local health departments use the term natural to promote breastfeeding, it could inadvertently fuel concerns over other aspects of health and society that are seen as, quote, unnatural, such as vaccines, genetically modified foods, which are unnatural, and assisted, that's why they're called genetically modified, because they're not natural. If they were natural, they would be called genetic. I don't know. You want to need the modifier of modified in there. And assisted reproductive technologies, the experts warn. We're not making any statements against the recommendation of breastfeeding overall, but are instead suggesting that the language of the natural in breastfeeding promotion is slippery and potentially harmful to the other public health goals like vaccination. Said Jessica Martucci, a researcher in advanced bioethics at the University of Pennsylvania, blah, 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 who cares? Martucci is co-author of an article on the topic that was published on Friday in the journal Pediatrics. So, yes, you can do it. You should do it. It's great and all, but we're going to say that you shouldn't call it natural. And that is 5 years ago. So, God only knows where this lady's mindset is now, that all of her most terrifying nightmares have come to fruition, and people, it all starts with the boob, doesn't it? It all starts with you thinking that a mother feeding her child, the way we see in nature every fucking animal doing, if you call that natural, then it's just going to make your kid an anti-vaxxer, bro. I don't know what else to tell you. That's what caused this. White women must be stopped, man.
Again. Yeah, man, this is more of that. And man, it's cool that this is 5 years old because we can see like the early signs of it. But this is a huge attack on language. And that's what they do. They get in and they change the words and the meaning of that. You can tell when you go through the grocery store, man. You'll see natural, all kinds of stuff. Organic is another one of these words that have legal definitions. So That's why that's not the same thing in the grocery store. Oh, all natural chips, organic chips, right? This one, that's not the same thing. So I think they want natural pretty much in the grocery store doesn't mean shit. But yeah, they want to make it so it appears like this article is planting the seeds that someday we're going to want people to be pretty much genetically modified.
Yep.
All people. So we're going to have to change this word around a little bit to there's no natural humans anymore. Can we still call them that? Or can we have this word?
Yeah, C.D. McRae says, those women clearly haven't explored the darker sides of the internet. If they had, probably wouldn't be too keen on lactating / breastfeeding in public. All right.
Fascist.
That.
Just kidding.
Yes. So moving on from this, obviously everybody... I say obviously everybody knows that opinion is stupid and we can move on from it, but obviously everybody isn't smart enough to know that natural things are natural. This next one is completely unrelated, and I'm only going to read the headline because that's really this is from lawofficer.com, so you know it's legit. Hundreds of California recall ballots, loaded gun, and drugs found in passed out felon's car. This is with the Gavin Newsom recall. Just some dude with drugs and ballots and a loaded gun hanging out in his car.
See, you can have the ballots or the gun,
right,
or the drugs, but
right.
You can't have the trifecta. Or
can you have two of the three, or does it depend on the combination? That might be a felony too.
Yeah, it's a felony for definitely a couple of those.
Like drugs, we'll let it slide as long as you're doing the Lord's work and getting rid of these ballots. If you need to defend yourself, you can have a gun. We'd prefer you don't have, like, the real thing that they busted him for was having the gun and the drugs, because those are a nasty combination. Right. That's the real problem here. But yeah, this guy was just found, like, you know, all the election fraud hoax stuff that everybody, it either definitely 100% happened and Trump is going to be reappointed any day now, or there's never been fraud in any election at all. Like, how many of these do we have to see before you realize actually they all, every single one. Every single one. It's just a matter of how much and how successful they are. But if a guy can just, like, and we don't hear about, like, well, first off, we don't hear about this all that much on, like, the mainstream media at all. Like, a guy pretends to have a bomb on Capitol Hill, and that is everywhere nonstop. He's crazy. Trump supporters are crazy. If you got a guy stealing ballots to try and keep Gavin Newsom in office, and he's got a gun, and he's got drugs, and he's a felon, like, that's not terrorism. But I'm not saying the guy with the van didn't have some bad intentions, but it turns out there was no bomb, and I don't know. I did make a meme about that when that shit went down. It was like the guy who was, like, deciding between the two buttons which one to push, and it's like false flag or white flag, because it's like, hey, stop paying attention to Afghanistan over, and the guy, I had CIA under the guy. Like, as soon as shit starts going down in Afghanistan, they're like, there's a shady guy parked on the sidewalk, and he's live streaming on Facebook, and he sounds like a hillbilly, he's white, and he's got a thing with a button on it. So that dominated the news for a hot minute, and seemed like pretty much everybody said the same thing, like, and like, okay.
Yeah.
I don't know. What do you think about either one of those two things? The recall ballot guy who's probably an awesome dude to hang out with, I would imagine, or the hillbilly with a button.
Yeah, well, the hillbilly with the button and the picture that showed up, the John Malkovich guy, I mean, I didn't do a whole lot of research, but it looked like, it was a timing thing. And then when the story didn't quite pan out the way that they wanted, they kind of just, like, let that one go. That's, like, usually a telltale sign that it was some bullshit.
Right.
But going back to just the election stuff, man, yeah, it's fucking crazy. This is why, like, I don't know. I rarely engage with this stuff because I'm just so shocked that I feel like the argument that all elections have been rigged forever because there's always an incentive to do it at the highest levels or even low levels of government.
Yeah.
But the prevailing story is in 2016, the Russians worked with Donald Trump to steal it, a Manchurian candidate
through Facebook ads.
Through Facebook ads, a coup, a straight up coup that lasted for 4 years until we had an election. And then he left peacefully. And then we elected the guy who ran 3 times, lost 3 times, two or three times, Right, I don't know. Lost to
Yeah.
Clinton. Lost, 1988, 2016.
Possibly
but yeah,
2020.
He got more votes than anybody else, and it was also the safest, most secure election. So we had a coup,
and we threw in mail-in ballots at the same time too, out of nowhere. Everybody gets a mail-in ballot, and there's a whole bunch of holes in that, and things are shifting around. But it's obviously the most secure ever.
Yeah, if they would have just said, "Look, that looked really shady, but I'm glad my guy got in," I'd have way more respect for them.
Right.
You know what I mean? Oh yeah, all the things are cool. I don't care. He cheated, so he won, and we won. Fuck you guys. I would be like, cool.
Right.
But instead, they stick to the most votes ever. Thank God we took care of this coup, this pesky Russian coup. We got that all squared away and had the most fair election ever. 4 years later. What a stupid story. You have to be a fucking asshole.
Yeah. Yeah. And I had something. It's gone. Damn it.
Poof, dude. I smoke entirely too much weed. That happens to me too.
It happens. It does happen to some people. No, on something on Biden and the election and stuff. Like Putin just didn't care about the 2020 election. Like he hacked the 2016 election to get Trump elected. Trump ran again against a corpse, and you say he lost soundly. Where did Putin go? Why wasn't Putin supporting him anymore? So
he spent all that money on Facebook ads, and why would he just throw that away? All that momentum, he would not.
Right. Yeah, I've got a clip here for the bomb threat. Suspect surrenders after Capitol standoff. This is from CBS, I believe, and this is just like 2 minutes. We'll just see how they reported on this and see if we get any buzzwords in there from them.
5 hours, Floyd Roseberry held police at bay after driving his pickup truck onto the sidewalk in front of the Library of Congress just across from the U.S. Capitol and claiming to have a bomb.
The revolution's on.
Roseberry live streamed the stand-up.
Shut up, cop. You fucking cop. Look at this guy. That was the first time I've seen that dude. Thank you. That was fucking great. The revolution's on.
You think he's a cop? Is that what you're saying?
I want to be a crisis actor. Let me do that. I can do this. I can do this work.
Yeah, he could probably star in a few different roles. Like he could be a starving meth head, and it's like blew up in something. I don't know. He could. He's got a good career ahead of him in this business. I think.
On Facebook, requesting to speak to the president.
I don't want to die, Joe.
I almost feel like they do these things that people like us suspect are this is like a weird false flag. C.D. McRae says that's my cousin. If that's true,
girl, get your cousin.
If that's true, hit me up on Twitter and shit, and let's talk. Because if that's really your cousin, I've got some questions. And
I don't know why, but I believe her, yo.
We might need to talk. But neat. My cousin, who was my same age and I went to school with and knew very well, chopped up somebody with an axe and burned them alive. Or burned their body. But we won't talk about that. That's not what we're here to talk about today. We're here to talk about Hillbilly Jack, or whatever his name is. Jeff.
The revolution's on.
Yeah. Well, do you know the name of this guy? I guess I should ask her. It's her cousin. But yeah, I feel like there's these different things.
I bet you he's got 3 names: a middle one, a first, middle, and last.
Right.
Though.
Yeah.
I bet.
We speculate on, is this a false flag? Is this like a crisis actor or something like that? I'm not jumping to the fact that he is, but it kind of makes sense for him to be live streaming because we haven't done that yet. Like, if we're gonna shoehorn this in here at such a strange time, why would this guy be like attacking and calling out Joe Biden while we're pulling out of Afghanistan and while all this, like while Joe Biden is failing there? He just wants the people out of Afghanistan. Okay, well, if we want the people out of Afghanistan, we should probably be leaving Afghanistan. But I don't know. This seems a little suspect. And the fact that he live streamed it, I'm sure some people will say that's evidence that it's not, a crisis actor, blah, blah, blah. But if these people are learning anything...
in the military. I bet you he's got some history there.
Right. If these people are learning anything for like what works and what doesn't, yeah, of course, the next thing that they would do, live stream some of this stuff, make it more convincing and compelling. But I mean, ultimately, nothing happened anyway. And let's keep listening.
About the end of the war in Afghanistan.
Just like the people in Afghanistan want to go home.
The 49-year-old from North Carolina said that he had a propane gas container in the back of the truck.
The driver of the truck told the responding officer on the scene that he had a bomb and what appeared, the officer said, appeared to be a detonator in the man's hand.
He claimed the detonator would trigger the gas container if police, including snipers posted around the perimeter, shot him. Congressional offices were evacuated and streets were sealed off as bomb-sniffing dogs searched for additional explosives Roseberry claimed to have knowledge of. Investigators negotiated with him for several hours, and at around 2 p.m., when they were trying to deliver a cell phone to him, he surrendered.
I thought he was in a van.
I saw that truck earlier. I saw it parked up on the thing, but that's...
Huh.
But he got away safe, huh? Everything worked out okay for him?
Oh, yeah, I'm sure.
A relief to police.
We had information and evidence of what was in the bed of his truck, and there were some things that were concerning.
There was no bomb in the truck, but possible bomb-making materials were found. The incident comes...
What were those bomb-making materials?
Real quick, that's, again, yeah, this is some of this legalese language. Like, you could say if there was fertilizer or something back there.
Right. If there was works cleaner, you could be making works bombs. That happened to me when I was like, I don't know, 17, 18, something like that. Me and my friend were out on a gravel road late at night. We were just messing around, and my dad was a pastor. We'd just gotten done cleaning the church, and then we grabbed some works cleaner, and we were like, let's go try this. Let's just take some, you just take like, I'm not going to tell you how to make it, but the ingredients are a pop bottle, works, and one other thing that I don't even remember to tell you, but you can find it pretty easily. We just went out on the back road, and it was like off-brand works, so it didn't even work, ironically enough, but didn't work. We did like a small burnout, and this is at like 3 a.m. We're like half a mile away from the nearest house, but those assholes still called the cops on us for doing a burnout. And I did a burnout just messing around with my friend on a gravel road. So it's not even like a squealing burnout. It's like throwing a little bit of rock, just messing around, and then drove away. That was our offense. And cop pulled us over, interrogated me and these two other kids for like 2 hours in the morning. They brought out like 3 cop cars, and they searched my vehicle without asking, and we had just cleaned out the church because we were leaving that, like we were shutting the church down, basically. And so I had this car just packed full of crap, and they're like digging through all of it, and they're like, they separated the 3 of us, questioned us each individually for like 2 hours until we all finally said, okay, we were doing this. We were making works bombs, just a stupid little thing that even if you did it successfully, which we didn't, it would probably do 0 damage to anyone or anything. It would just go pop and that's it. So they interrogated us for 2 hours, and then they were like, oh, your dad's a pastor, right? I was like, yes. And they're like, how do you think your dad would feel about you getting hit with like a terrorism charge for making bombs out here? It's like, looking back on that now, it's like insanity, the level that the cops will go to scare children into submitting to them. But all that long, ridiculous story to point out that cops are stupid all the time.
Big dumb animals. Yep.
And them saying this guy has, materials that could be used to make an explosive device. It could be cleaner, or it could be fertilizer. It could be anything. And they just want their story.
8 months after the January 6th attack, the security fencing around the Capitol was removed last month, but a recent law enforcement bulletin warned of conspiracy theories gaining traction, leading to individuals or small groups embracing violent tactics. At this hour, there is still an active investigation, and while investigators believe that this suspect acted alone, they're still checking into whether he has links to others or domestic terror organizations. Meanwhile, his ex-wife is speaking out, and she believes that he is mentally unstable and also fed up. Nora.
So he's an angry white male,
right,
who's fed up with the system. And
what do you think?
Sharing conspiracy theories,
right? What do you think? What do you think he's fed up with exactly? Could it be like every fucking thing that he should be fed up with? Like, I'm not like justifying his terrorist activities or anything like that, but it's like, yeah, he's clearly unstable, like his wife said, and he is clearly fed up. At least that's what his performance says. And
he plays a guy who's fed up.
Right. Maybe take a fucking hint, guys. People are fed up with this bullshit.
Well, they know that we're fed up, so they know. Again, man, when I saw that thing that the was it Department of Homeland Security put out, it was like, oh yeah, with the anniversary of 9/11 coming soon, you want to be on the lookout for conspiracy theories, COVID deniers. I think there's like one other thing on there, which are very reasonable. Oh, the 1/6 thing. So these are all very reasonable things, like that people would talk about. Oh man, I don't think that was a proper election. Oh, I do. Okay, well we could discuss it. But none of this stuff is dangerous. That's what I don't understand. They're calling like dangerous misinformation. I saw Don Lemon say that. He's like the worst, bro.
Yeah.
But people were talking about how it's slippery slope, Nuremberg Code stuff. Hey, this is what happened. And he straight up looked in the camera and goes, some people shouldn't have kids. Like this elitist fuck, right? Lives in New York City. Like,
I agree with him.
Like,
some people shouldn't have kids. Some people shouldn't have been born. And it's not the people that you think.
Right. How can you say that? So oblivious.
Right. And it's, if it is like a false flag or something like that, and this is like an actor or something, of course they chose a white hillbilly to pull it off.
Who parked his big pickup truck in the middle of the Capitol, where the Capitol Police are, with no weapon. So he wasn't really that fed up.
Right.
Because that's not what you would do.
And he also didn't have a bomb.
Right.
So I don't know what you think that he was planning exactly. Like when he's surrounded by a SWAT team, he's going to get out and mix his chemicals together, do a little engineering, and then be like, just a second, I'm really dangerous, I swear, I promise. Yeah. Like, come on, guys. Like, the more I think about that, like, the guy didn't have a bomb.
Did he even say at any point that, hey, I have a thing and I'm going to do something? Did he ever do that?
He had the button, and they showed him moving his finger around the button.
But I couldn't hear the word. Like, what was he doing? What was he talking about?
I'm not going to watch a 25-hour poorly acted live stream, but
I know.
My God, like, if they I don't even know. I don't know what to say about this, because he didn't have one, guys. Yeah. And if he was just there to cause fear, what did he think was going to happen? And if this is like causing this wave of people that are so stupid that they'll drive up onto Capitol Hill with no defense or no guns and only selfie sticks and a button, like, if that's your enemy, then I'm not sure what you're so concerned about, because they don't bring weapons, it seems like.
I think this story, along with the story about the bombing in Afghanistan, is the cathedral telling us that we need them. That's what these stories are about. I'm not saying that I know all the players or what the motives were, but they are the reason they're talking about those is so that they can say, you need us over here and doing what we're doing.
Now that we're out of Afghanistan, you think we're getting our rights back at the airport? Do you think the TSA is going away? Do you think the Patriot Act's going away? Do you think they're going to stop spying on us?
Time to retire that. Pat Buchanan's going to stick his head in and go, we can get rid of this stuff now, right?
Yeah, we're good now, guys. That temporary thing that we took from you, we're definitely giving that back. Like, it doesn't even cross anybody's mind. It's just normal now. We have been in the new normal. It's always constantly a new normal of how sneakily they can push back you and anything that you want to do, or any rights or whatever that you have. But we're going to jump through these next ones pretty quickly because there's not a ton to them yet, but they are pertinent to what we're talking about here. This is from Gizmodo.com, so you know it's legit. A secret FBI watch list leaks online, and boy, do the feds think a lot of people are terrorists.
Not surprised about that one.
So, guys, like, put the pieces together. They're calling out everybody as terrorists. This next one is from Gateway Pundit. This just happened yesterday. Pelosi's January 6th committee requests communications between Trump White House officials and top conservatives, including reporter Jack Posobiec, Scott Pressler, Alex Jones, and Brandon Straka. And there's a bunch more. Even like Tracy Beans is on here. Like people that are even like not that big of personalities on this list for subpoenaing, which means they get Nancy Pelosi is calling for these people that I can almost guarantee had nothing to do with the January 6th thing. Just because she doesn't like their standings and their voices being heard, she is going to insist that from now back till April of 2020. They have to give every single piece of communication to her or to the courts that they have, anybody that they've ever talked with. And of course, it starts out with, if they ever talked about January 6th, we need that. Oh, well, on January 6th, they talked to so-and-so, so we need everything that they've said between them and so-and-so. And then they were seen at this party together. We need all that. Like, it's basically, they're insisting on destroying these people's lives legally, and just because of political rivalries. Like, that's all this is. And I don't know about you, but this feels... this was the main thing to me, where I'm like waking up not all that stoked to be awake right now. And this feels to me like the start of a turn. Like, I'm not saying a civil war necessarily, but when you've got political rivals going to just YouTubers and people with influence on Twitter and saying, you are bad because you supported Trump, and we need to destroy your career. We need to dig into your past. We need to dig into everything about you, treat you as a criminal just for voting a way that we disagree with. That is the start of something bad, unless we turn this around real quick. Dave, your thoughts?
We're not turning this around really quick. That was my first thought.
Yeah.
But yeah, I do tend to agree with you, and I know Tracy Beans a little bit. She was an old school, like, ride or die Ron Paul.
Okay.
Rider.
Do you know? Quite frankly, Frankie Val. He's got a show.
I don't know him. No, I don't know a whole lot of the other people on that list. I heard Alex Jones and Roger Stone were cleared, but the rest of the guys I'm not sure about.
Yeah. Frank was not on that list, but he's been on my show, and he's an awesome dude. Amazing show. You guys should check it out. It's called Quite Frankly. I think it's still nightly, but I only know Tracy Beans through he hosts a second podcast with her, I believe, like a weekly thing, and nice. They're good friends and all that. So I've heard the name a lot, but I don't know much about her. But the fact that
she rose to stardom. I mean, yeah, she was tweeting back and forth with General Flynn a whole lot. I mean, I kind of just kept an eye, but she went real hard on the Trump train. Probably 2015. She was early in on that, but yeah, I'm not surprised that she's on that list. I'm not, and it will expand. Right now, it's it's Trump, but I got to keep going back to that Brennan thing, that Brennan interview on MSNBC. It would be so much easier to lump in everybody together, and everybody who's not approved is on this dissident list,
right?
And they're, what a perfect time to have a two-tiered system that's very political in nature too. That is pretty red and blue, that line.
First they came for Alex Jones, and I said nothing because fuck that guy. I mean, he's so exhausting. And then they just came for some dude on Twitter. Not just, I mean, we're well past, they can kick you off of these platforms because it's a private business, bro. Now we're talking about they can kick you off all these platforms, and then they can legally attack you for having political leanings that they disagree with. And if you're a fucking libertarian right now, and if you support any of this at all, just because these people support Donald Trump, first off, you're not a fucking libertarian. If you believe that government should be coming after people for this.
What if they're free market concentration camps, though? What if they were built by...
You make a good point. You make a really solid case. And speaking of free markets, well, actually, I got to play something before we do this last one. This is the part of the show where you give your own submissions. It is called the...
This program was made possible by viewers like you.
Get what you f***ing deserve!
Your days are belong to us.
No one can stop us from enjoying this, so enjoy it! Stop crying!
Stop crying. It is the Freak of the Week segment where you guys submit some things and we make off-color jokes about it. Just roasting whatever you guys send in. And I'm currently primarily taking submissions. Like, I'll put out a shout on the Facebook groups. There's a Secret Downers Club Facebook group that you can join by going to patreon.com/The System Is Down. Or you can go to the main one. I also post in the System Is Down forum, or the TSID is Down forum. Look it up. And give call outs, and you guys submit your most ridiculous articles or things that you think that we need to talk about. And this one was not my favorite, actually, this week, but this one flows so nicely with what we're talking about here. This is from edwardsnowden.substack.com, so you know it's legit. The all-seeing eye, Apple, just declared war on your privacy. Under his eye, she says, the right farewell. Under his eye, I reply, and she gives a little nod. I'm not sure what that means. It's a little bit cryptic.
Haven't watched, have you watched the show, The Handmaid's Tale?
Oh, no.
Okay, I think that's a reference to that.
Gotcha.
Good show.
I see. So, this plays in well with, did they ever give us, our privacy back after 9/11? Did they give us, they make us stop getting our balls squeezed at the airport? No, they did not. But here we go. How could it possibly get any worse, you ask? And Apple is there to answer your question. By now, you've probably heard that Apple plans to rush a new and uniquely intrusive surveillance system out to many of the more than 1 billion iPhones it has sold, which were made by children in sweatshops, by the way. Just throwing that out there. Yikes. Which all run the behemoth's property, take it or leave it software. This new offensive is tentatively slated to begin with the launch of iOS 15, almost certainly in mid-September, with the devices of its U.S. user base designated as the initial targets. We're told that other countries will be spared, but not for long. You might have noticed that I haven't mentioned which problem it is that Apple is purporting to solve. Why? Because it doesn't matter. Having read thousands upon thousands of remarks on this growing scandal, it has become clear to me that many understand it doesn't matter, but few, if any, have been willing to actually say it. Speaking candidly, if that's still allowed, that's the way it always goes when someone of institutional significance launches a campaign to defend an indefensible intrusion into our private spaces. They make a mad dash to the supposed high ground from which they speak in low, solemn tones about their moral mission before fervently invoking the dread specter of the four horsemen of the infopocalypse, warning that only a dubious amulet or suspicious software update can save us from the most threatening members of our species. Suddenly, everybody with a principled objection is forced to preface their concern with apologetic throat clearing and the establishment of bona fides. I lost a friend when the towers came down. However, as a parent, I understand this is a real problem, but... Dave, you got any thoughts on that? And I'd say he's right. It does not matter what their reason is, and I'm sure they have just a really nice and happy, flowery one, like patriotic or freedom or liberty or something, and that's why they need to take away your privacy on iPhone, which was like they were one of the main ones that refused to unlock the iPhones of people that the government was suspecting before. So
that's
Dave,
what I was waiting for. So he's not going to tell us what the move is and what the update is that it's going to do?
I'm sure he does, but goddamn, Snowden is long-winded.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, we could get into it, but it's gonna be a bit before we get there.
Yeah. I feel like I don't know. I don't know. I don't know a whole lot about this stuff. I'm not the most tech savvy, but from what I understood, Apple was pretty good about the encryption stuff and about not providing backdoors to the feds. But that's just on the public side, so that could be all bullshit. And I'm sure that they will cave to, pressure.
Right.
Sure.
And that's the thing about the private business argument. It's like if the private business is cooperating with government against you, the private business is not a private business. They're a government
entity. If you
entity.
don't like it, then just go make another smartphone.
Yeah, and they did that. They made the Freedom phone or whatever, and everybody's like, it's a white supremacy phone, bro. It's like, I don't know what you want, man.
Yeah.
So I'll read
get a racist phone.
Right. I'll jump down at the end and read this, which I was going to ask you earlier. I think that was the thing I forgot, actually. We got like a Mike Lindell, like back on the, I don't know, the election fraud or whatever. The thing that bothers me even more than people saying that there wasn't any election fraud is all these people saying there's tons and tons of election fraud. And we've got this crack and we've got this big thing coming out, and we've got like Mike Lindell coming out with absolutely nothing going in. Like, and even Giuliani bringing out the wine mom and all that. Like, it's like, are these people all in this clown show together? Are they a part of it? Because I have seen more compelling evidence with my eyes than what they have presented whenever they say that there's a big kraken of evidence coming out.
Right. And what was Donald Trump that stupid to hire Rudy Giuliani and that other lady? Or was it, like you said, is this just we play the role right now? We're really going to bat for the American people, and you just wait any minute now. Breadcrumb, breadcrumb.
Yep.
That's what it looks like.
Yeah, so let's read a little bit. I just jumped down to the end of this. I don't know if there's anything here, but we'll find out. Unfortunately, I am here to report that, once again, the optimists are wrong. Apple's proposal to make their phones inform on and good lord, betray their owners marks the dawn of a dark future, one to be written in the blood of the political opposition of 100 countries that will exploit this system to the hilt. See the day after this system goes live, it will no longer matter whether or not Apple ever enables end-to-end encryption, because our iPhones will be reporting their contents before our keys are even used. I can't think of any other company that has so proudly and so publicly distributed spyware on its own devices, and I can't think of a threat more dangerous to a product's security than the mischief of its own maker. There is no fundamental technological limit to how far the precedent Apple is establishing can be pushed, meaning the only restraint is Apple's all too flexible company policy, something governments understand all too well. I would say there should be a law, but I fear it would only make things worse. Do you think Snowden is a plant?
I was just, dude, that was going to be the question that I asked you. As soon as you were done, that's what I was going to ask you. I
never thought about it until that Mark Claire debate where he was debating Eric Brakey, and he was bringing up some, hey, I think the things that he did are generally positive, and I support whistleblowers, but there's some shady shit around him. What do you think?
I've heard Monica Perez put forth some interesting case that he looks like a plant.
Yeah.
Pete Canones as well. So yeah, these are people that I respect, and
Snowden's
as a conspiracy
this
theorist,
is all
bro,
bad.
Yeah.
I think there should be a law, but I'm not sure what it is.
Or like if you knew you were going to get busted for stuff around 2011, 2013 or whatever, if you knew, all right, some of this stuff, the Prism and all these things are going to come out. Maybe there's a way that we can like head it off or almost get consent from the public. Like, let's come clean. Here's our programs we've been doing. We have the ability to look at all your shit, all your emails, all your calls, and they're all saved in a thing. Like, there has to be a way to deliver that information to the public, and maybe that was the way to do it. And then now we know, and nobody did anything, so it's like, oh, well, we know we can get to the next step. You know?
Right. Absolutely.
So maybe fuck that guy if he did it, but I want to think that he's a hero. That would be great. But again, they made a Hollywood movie. It's a red flag right off the bat, just like they did with Zuckerberg. You got to make the movie to establish.
They did make a Waco series, though. Do you think Thibodeau's a plant? I have heard people make the argument that Thibodeau is a plant, and I've had him on my show. I didn't think he was a plant. I also had Gary Nesner on the show, the FBI negotiator, and he seemed pretty chill too. I don't know, but great series. You should definitely check it out. It's pretty fair-handed. Have you seen the series?
No.
You should. It's great.
Okay.
Anyway, we're gonna wrap this up on a happy note because it's been a dark one, and we're pushing
White
2
pill
hours.
me, bro.
I will white pill the hell out of you right now. This is from Fox News, the evil foxnews.com, so you know it's legit. Huge rubber duck appears in Maine Harbor, amuses residents. Quote, "It's wonderful."
That sounds nice.
After all this, children are dying, people are bleeding, your government hates you, we're all going to hell in a handbasket.
What?
However, here it is.
Oh, that does make everybody. How could that not make you happy?
A city in Maine is trying to solve a huge mystery. After a giant, this is the huge mystery, not who Cuomo's killing today, it's the rubber duck. After a giant rubber duck appeared in its busy harbor, the 25-foot tall duck which is emblazoned with the word joy, appeared in the harbor in Belfast, Maine on Saturday, according to the New England Cable News. No one knows who put it there. The station reported that the duck is anchored in shallow water between a pedestrian bridge and the town landing. Everyone loves it. Given said, I have no idea who owns it, but it kind of fits Belfast. A lot of people want to keep it here. Yeah, you should. That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's
the
awesome.
Best thing that happened to your town in weeks. Enjoy it.
Probably. The best thing that happened to this country all year. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, we all need this, so fucking leave it alone.
Just one person vandalizing or littering or graffitiing the water, I'm sure, is how the government would put it, to bring a little happiness. But somebody spent their own money on this joy duck, and I support it. And I thought it was a fun one to end on. That's all.
I like it.
That's all.
Makes me happy.
Yeah, going out on a super high note. The world is collapsing around us, and Apple is spying on me right now through this Mac that I'm speaking into.
Fuck those guys.
But Joy Duck is the password for this week, you guys. If you've made it this far, thank you so much for watching. Go leave the password Joy Duck wherever you interact with me, wherever you, like on Twitter or Messenger or Facebook or email or Instagram. I guess I'm on Instagram. If you post something on my Instagram, I might see it a month from now, but just let me know that you made it this far and you enjoyed this very long, but I would say action-packed 2-hour episode where we covered everything from, what did we talk about? Oh, we talked about
Mostly
Nirvana Kid.
The white women who were ruining the country and the world. And yeah, that little asshole.
Yep. One of them said, "Smile, guys." She said, "I want that for the duck." So, ladies, I shouldn't even say guys. Ladies, thanks for being here. I think it was mostly, if not all women.
It's ladies' night.
Yeah, Tim, I don't remember what he goes by on YouTube. I know his real last name, but Tim something or other. Thank you for tuning in as well. But
thanks, Tim.
Thanks, guys. Go hit me up. Go hit Dave up. Drop the passcode of what was it? What was on the duck? Oh, Joy Duck. Drop that passcode so we know that you've enjoyed this, and go join the Downers Club and get the bonus. Oh, Dave, give all your plugs. Dave, do you have anything that you'd like to announce? Any new episodes you'd like to talk about, or anything coming up?
Great. Actually, yeah, dude, I just dropped an episode today on my podcast, Dave versus Goliath. Entitled Alex Jones Was Right. It's only 40 minutes, but we had some fun, played some great clips, had a great talk with my other buddy Dan. And
summer break's over. Back to school.
Summer break's over, man. Back. YouTube, Odyssey, find me on Twitter, Teespring, Instagram. I'll be back on Facebook soon. And hit me up at wheeliespharmacy.com. WHEELYSFARMACY. And if you're in northern Delaware, stop by the farm and come hang out with me. Liberty Truckers, your lunch is on me.
Awesome. Well, Dave, thanks so much for being here as always. And I'm not sure what's happening next week, if I'm gonna bug you then, or if Travis will be back. I've got a trip coming up, and I don't remember which week it is, so I can't give any more information at the moment. But rest assured, something will happen, and it'll be fun. And Dave will be around, of course.
I'm on call, buddy.
That's
Whenever.
right. Amen. All right, guys, thank you so much for your time. Thank you so much for exploring the world with us together. And just keep in mind Joy Duck as everything burns around you, because there is still good in the world. Try and stay white-pilled. Don't be irrational and don't be irrationally white-pilled, I suppose. You should be optimistic, but be smart and look around you and see the stuff that's going on. See what people are saying. See the trends and the slopes. As much as I don't like the slippery slope analogy, I can't think of a better one when we've gone down this trail that we have detailed to painful lengths of blackpilling today. But try and stay positive. Try and stay Joy Duck. And we will talk to you next time. Hug your kids. Hug your wife. And be aware. Be aware of what's going on around you and what is being pushed on them. And we are going to jump over now into the after party with or without Dave. And we're going to talk about a bunch more stuff because I've got all of your articles, the other... what are they called? Freak of the Week articles. And I've got a children's book that I might talk about there that I will be discussing with you guys soon. It's horrifying, and it'll black pill you some more. So if you want some more black pilling, but in a lighthearted manner that might white pill you a little bit, come on over, join the Downers Club, get the bonus, get all the bonus every week, and drop me a line wherever you've seen the thing scrolling there at the bottom. You know how to reach me. And we'll talk to you guys next time. Until then, where's my button? Question everything. Stay uncomfortable, and we'll talk to you then. Bye-bye.
Hey guys, thanks for watching. Be sure to like and subscribe on your way out and help us change the world one uncomfortable conversation at a time. And if you like what you hear and you want to hear more, go join the Downers Club at patreon.com/thesystemsdown for bonus episodes of the show every single week. Until next time, please continue to question everything, stay uncomfortable, and I'll talk to you then. Thanks.
This has been a Goulash Media production. goulashmedia.net.
This concludes our broadcast day. Click.